We were promised a world without borders, an era of instant and seamless connection. Technology, we were told, would break down every barrier, making distance an obsolete concept. Yet, in this digital utopia, we often find ourselves more disconnected than ever. The paradox is evident: the more technologically interconnected we are, the more fragmented our human experience seems. This is the reality we live in, an existence suspended between promise and its denial. Our central argument is that digital waiting has transformed into a veritable new religion. It's not a cult in the traditional sense, but a system of beliefs and rituals that shapes our perception of time and value. Waiting, once a simple interval, has undergone a radical transformation in the digital age. Its nature has changed, as has our relationship with it. In the past, anticipation was intrinsically linked to the act of communication itself. People awaited a letter, a call, a meeting, and anticipation was an integral part of the experience. It was a time of reflection, of preparation. Today, waiting has been quantified, measured with algorithmic precision. It is no longer a subjective experience, but an objective fact, a number imposed on us. The estimated wait time is 17 minutes is the new litany. This seemingly innocuous phrase embodies the profound transformation of our relationship with time and with others. We no longer await the event, but its calculation. We have become faithful to a digital clock that measures our patience, transforming every minute into a unit of value. This quantification isn't just a matter of efficiency. It's a control mechanism, a way to manage our expectations and, ultimately, our very perception of reality. The promise of an ever-connected world clashes with the reality of omnipresent waiting. Waiting is no longer a void to be filled, but a scheduled interval, an obligatory ritual. The telephone line, today's digital counterpart, has become an almost sacred place. It's a liminal space where time seems suspended, where the ordinary rules of daily life don't apply. In this non-place, our patience is tested in unexpected ways. It's not just a passive wait, but an active experience of endurance, of resistance. Waiting is measured in decibels of hold music, an often generic and repetitive soundtrack. This melody becomes the mantra of a modern ritual, a soundtrack to our suspension. Hold music isn't just a filler. It's an element that helps define the atmosphere of the sacred space, a sound that reminds us of our state of waiting. Here lies the paradox of the digital age. Telecommunications were born with the goal of making communication faster, more widespread, and more connected. The irony is that despite all this progress, we often talk a lot, without truly communicating. The quantity of interactions doesn't always translate into the quality of exchange. Messages travel at the speed of light, crossing continents in an instant. Yet, understanding, the deeper meaning, seems to get lost in the data traffic. There's a growing gap between technical and human connection. We can be connected to thousands of people, yet feel profoundly alone. Instant responses often lack substance. Speed sacrifices depth, turning the conversation into a series of superficial and hasty exchanges. This sacred space of digital waiting forces us to confront this reality. It shows us that mere speed is not synonymous with effective communication. The digital line becomes an altar where we sacrifice our time in the name of a connection that, at times, proves illusory. A ritual we celebrate daily. Telephone or digital hold is a true modern limbo. It's an intermediate state, a boundary between the desire to communicate and its realization. In this limbo, we are suspended, neither fully present nor fully absent. We are in a state of non-being, waiting to be recalled to reality. The metallic voice that reassures us with, "Your time is important to us," is the guide through this purgatory. A phrase that often sounds mocking, given the situation. This seemingly polite statement actually creates a purgatorial state. It makes us feel that our time is precious, but at the same time it mercilessly consumes it. It's a modern limbo where impatience is tacitly punished. Every passing minute is a test of our capacity for endurance. Time, in this context, is sucked into the void of congested lines. It's not time spent, but time lost, energy dissipated. This is a metaphysical suspension, an experience that transcends mere physical expectation. We find ourselves between two worlds, the real and the digital, the human and the automated. We are torn between our will and the impersonal logic of a system that imposes its rhythms, its rules, its inexorable weight. In this digital purgatory, it almost feels like we're atoning for the sins of impatience. Every minute of waiting is a penance for our haste, our desire for immediacy. Waiting becomes a ritual of purification, a way to reconnect with a slower, more thoughtful sense of time, a time that digital society seems to have forgotten. It's an experience that forces us to confront our vulnerability, our dependence on systems we can't control. A silent humiliation. Digital speed has distorted our perception of time in profound and often insidious ways. What was once considered rapid is now unbearably slow. A minute spent offline, without digital stimulation, can feel like an eternity. Our minds, accustomed to a constant flow of information, feel deprived and bored. We've become addicted to the frenetic pace of digital. Our attention is fragmented, our concentration is diminished, our patience eroded. This addiction isn't just a matter of habit. It's a genuine alteration of our cognitive patterns, an adaptation to an increasingly fast-paced environment. We feel simultaneously omnipotent and powerless in this new time regime. A single click can connect continents, opening up worlds of possibility. The ability to access unlimited information and communicate instantly gives us an unprecedented sense of power. We are at the center of a global network. But that same click can also trigger deep, paralyzing frustration. A few seconds delay, a dropped connection, and our sense of control evaporates. The speed that promises us freedom also chains us to an expectation of immediacy. Any deviation from this expectation generates anxiety and irritation. This dichotomy between omnipotence and impotence is one of the most salient features of the digital age. We feel like we own time, but we are also its slaves. Digital time isn't neutral. It's a construct that shapes our psyche, influencing our mood, our relationships, and our worldview. Our minds are constantly on high alert, ready to react to every notification, every stimulus. This hyperactivity rarely translates into real productivity. Emerging technologies promise to completely eliminate waiting, making every interaction instant and frictionless. Chatbots, artificial intelligence, and 6G networks are touted as the ultimate solution. These tools are designed to anticipate our needs, responding before the question is even asked. The goal is total efficiency and a seamless experience. But we must seriously question the desirability of this eradication of waiting. Do we really want to eliminate every moment of suspension, every interval? Or perhaps we should learn to experience waiting differently, to rediscover its intrinsic value? The absence of waiting isn't always a good thing. Waiting may be the last remaining human experience, a bulwark against the total commodification of time. A moment when we are forced to slow down, to reflect. It's a space where time is felt, perceived in its entirety, and not simply commodified or quantified. An experience that reconnects us with our humanity. In an ever faster world, waiting offers us a forced pause. An opportunity for contemplation, for patience, for self-discovery. Eliminating waiting means eliminating a fundamental part of our experience. It means depriving ourselves of an opportunity for growth, a moment of reflection. Perhaps the future lies not in eliminating waiting, but in reclaiming it. In transforming it from a nuisance to an opportunity, from a punishment to a resource. We must learn to value these moments of suspension, to see them not as a void to be filled, but as a space to be inhabited with awareness. Waiting, in this sense, isn't a remnant of the past to be overcome. It's an essential component of our existence, a natural rhythm we shouldn't suppress. The most profound lesson telecommunications offer us is paradoxical. The more we connect with the outside world, the more we risk disconnecting from ourselves. The constant search for external connection can distract us from our internal connection. It makes us dependent on external stimuli, distancing us from our inner selves. The strongest signal, the one that really matters, isn't the one traveling between antennas or through fiber optic cables. It's not a question of bandwidth or latency. The strongest signal is the one that vibrates in the silence between one call and the next, between one message and the next. It is the resonance of our very existence. It's the awareness that emerges when the digital noise fades, when the wait forces us to confront ourselves. That's where true communication lies. This is a profound reflection on time, evolution, and the very nature of waiting. It invites us to reconsider our relationship with technology. Waiting, far from being a flaw to be corrected, can be a form of evolution. A catalyst for greater awareness, for a deeper understanding of ourselves. It's an invitation to slow down, to breathe, to experience the passing of time not as an enemy, but as a companion. A companion that offers us the opportunity to be fully present. In a world obsessed with speed, waiting reminds us of the value of slowness. It teaches us that not everything fast is good, and not everything slow is useless. Digital waiting, with all its paradoxes, offers us a way to rediscover our humanity. An opportunity to reconnect with the natural rhythm of life.